Hello. Welcome to Redeem the Trash playoffs. So, unexpectedly, the Matthews Sand Slashes and Kelly Camrups already played. Real quick, I'm going to just talk about my thought process going into it. His team is really slow. It's really, really, really slow. And so I thought, you know what? I don't need to worry about speed investment, not going to run Tailwind. And I realized quickly that if he leads, for instance, Bohemian Cofagrigus, I have no way to deny Trick Room. So my strategy was to allow him to set up Trick Room. And I ran no speed investment in basically anything. I didn't have chlorophyll on my Tangela, didn't bring Rapidash. I was like, no, I'm just going to let him set up Trick Room. Ran minimum speed Buffalon, which was really cool because of something that happened in the match. I was scared about Piloswine. Pretty much, that was my main threat. I needed something that could provide offensive pressure on Pythagoras. I needed something that could handle Piloswine because if you look at ice and ground coverage, weak to ice, weak to ground, weak to ground, weak to ice. Okay, it doesn't do anything. Weak to ground. Also doesn't really do anything into Piloswine. Weak to ground. Doesn't really do anything into Piloswine. Weak to ground, weak to ice. My whole team was pretty vulnerable. I had nothing that resists both ground and ice, which, what even does resist both ground and ice? So, Araquanid, I guess. Right? Should have gone with that water bug. Which I actually thought about. Having it. But yeah, so I just sucked it up and said he's going to get first attack, and that's okay. I thought he'd probably ring Girder, Vikavolt, Pythagoras, Piloswine. And then I was thinking Mandibuzz and Behem. He did bring Mandibuzz, although he never actually used it, and Behem was left at home. He was scared of Aegislash, I guess, and he brought Litten instead, which was very scary. But I was able to use his own Trick Room against him because Litten, after Fake Out, always went last. I ran a physical Aegislash. I thought about special, but everything else that I was running was special, basically, except for Archon. It ended up being a mistake. I should have just gone with special anyway, because I didn't even use the cool coverage option. So the big difference, those of you who haven't run Aegislash for 2 straight seasons may not know this, physical Aegislash has a way better moveset. You have access to, the biggest one is you have access to rock attacks, you have access to fighting attacks, and you have access to grass attacks, Solar Blade, if you run physical. If you run special, you pretty much just have Steel, Air, Flying, and Ghost, and Normal, which you also have all of those with physical. Physical also has the only boosting move, Swords Dance, and it has Shadow Sneak. There's no priority move for special Aegislash. And you really don't want to mixed. You just lose too much power, or you have to decrease your bulk, which is really bad. I could have actually run mixed. BN just had a minus speed nature, but I really wanted Shadow Sneak. And so I ran physical. And didn't even use the extra type coverage. I ran Iron Head, Shadow Claw, Shadow Sneak, and King Shield. Tangela, pretty standard Tangela set. I really wanted redirection so that Aegislash could go to town. Tangela Aegislash is just a really good combo. There's a reason that, there's a reason that Aegislash does really well, is that when it is defensive, it's very hard to beat. And so on those turns, like if I go for a King Shield, that frees up Tangela to cast Reflect or attack with Energy Ball or Sleep Powder even, or stall out a turn with a double Protect. And then on turns that it attacks or that I feel like it's vulnerable, I can use Rage Powder. And just the unpredictability there, like the opponent doesn't know, like, is Tangela just going to sit there passively, or is it going to put one of my Pokemon to sleep? I didn't run Vulpix because, again, Vulpix mostly sets up the sun to enable chlorophyll, and I didn't want more speed. Maractus, same decision. It's really not ideal if it's not outspeeding the opponent. And yeah, Exploud. I thought about it, but it's just so bad, and you know that your opponent has really strong fighting type options. Piloswine also gets, I think it's superpower. The Fagrigus often runs Fire Defense Body Press, so I thought Exploud's just going to be so bad. And then Rapidash I didn't run because, yeah, it's like its main thing is woohoo, I'm fast, and Rapidash under Trick Room is Dead-a-Dash. Rapidead. It's dead rapidly. So then I had 5 Pokemon left that I needed to choose from to take 4: Lantern, Scraggy, Manectric, Bouffalant, and Archon. And I ended up dropping Scraggy. This is because, Intimidate isn't good against Piloswine because Piloswine can run Oblivious, though I kind of expected it to run to be Thick Fat instead, just because I do have a lot of fire. But if it was Oblivious, then the Fake Out's no good. I can't, the Intimidate's no good. I can't fake out his Cofagrigus. Behemoth, if it went offensive, could set up Psychic Terrain, although obviously not into Scraggy. And then I can't bring in Scraggy for a late game fake out. Like, it just didn't, and it doesn't do anything offensively for me. Also, I didn't really need the type coverage of the dark attacks, which is really good into his team, right? And Cofagrigus and Behemoth is particular. But I didn't need that because I had Aegislash with the ghost attacks. So I skipped it. I ran Dual Electric because he has nothing except for Piloswine that I guess he has Stego too, but I wasn't scared of anything but Piloswine, and so I ran Lantern Manectric, but I ran Flamethrower Manectric, and was it Scald or Hydro Pump? I think probably Scald, but I ran a water attacking Piloswine, or a water attacking Lantern as well to try and beat Piloswine. I actually, pretty recently in the regular season, I actually ran a Lantern with no water type attack. I'm not entirely sure why I did that, but I did. And it's an interesting choice. But this time I definitely had a water attack exclusively for Piloswine, although Litten ended up coming. Lantern and Manectric have really nice synergy if they both are using Discharge. Manectric heals Lantern, and Lantern charges up Manectric. This would be really nice if Lantern went first. Of course, Lantern's a lot slower. But in Trick Room, Lantern does go first, so it's very cool. And if he doesn't have Piloswine, like Lantern Manectric, nothing enjoys getting double discharged. And with getting hit by Discharge twice on each of your Pokemon, each of your Pokemon is more likely than not going to end up getting paralyzed. Well, slightly more likely than not, right? It's like a 51% chance on each of them if they don't protect. Lantern's also really bulky. I figured it would be able to handle like a max ground from Piloswine, which it was, not by much. And I even ran Life Orb on it because I really thought, like, I have no really good offensive options for getting rid of Piloswine except for Lantern. So I really looked at running Lantern alongside Tangela, and which I think ended up actually coming out. Manectric, I definitely wanted that discharge to heal up Lantern, but also Flamethrower very important for Vikavolt, for Piloswine. I really wasn't scared of Vikavolt into anything but Tangela, but yeah, Vikavolt Does not need to max Bug Buzz. One shots even a fully specially defensive Tangela. Bouffalant, I ran min speed with the choice band. I'm like, this is my 100% answer because I'm not going to invest anything in speed, and it's going to be fully bulky and max attack adamant. Like, this is going to take freaking anything that anyone brings to it except for Girder. And yeah. And then Archon was going to be my defensive like answer to pretty much anything. It ran knockoff. I ran knockoff pretty much to scout for weakness policy on Cafagrigus, which terrified me. He ended up not running it, so he had like a berry. So knockoff was really good. Also, if Archon touches Cafagrigus, Archon loses Defeatist. I also ran Bulldoze to proc a weakness policy on Aegislash. And yeah, I mean, the games worked out really well. You can watch the games for yourself. I feel really, really good about how they went. In fact, let's just watch the games. No way. Are we going to actually do that? Yeah, we are. So we're going to actually watch these games because I can't. Oh, they're not up. Never mind. We're not going to watch these games. Okay, so that's my thing. So playoff game number 2 is going to be Detroit versus Stonehenge. And it's Eon versus Prime. It's oh my gosh, it's going to be such a game. I'm terrified by both these teams. I beat Prime on a misclick by him. And I actually, I don't know how I'm going to beat him if I have to play him. And then Eon actually did beat me. So, like, it's not like there's any easy matchups. Like, none of these 4 are going to be easy to beat down here. But, like, he actually should have beat me, and he actually did. So, we in trouble. So yeah, so Stonehenge second attackers have a really strong trigger component with Rune. They also have a Rune. Dredagon loves Trick Room. Meryl, there's always the pure power like Aquagen, the weakness policy. Runeregus as it sets up Trick Room, and then you've got under Trick Room huge power +2 attack, and it is game over. But then also has the Mag Mortar Shiftry thing. Kingler's I really doubted Kingler, but it really synergizes well with this team. It also doesn't set up Rain with its a G-Max move, so really wise decision to make it G-Max Kingler instead of normal Kingler. And after screen speed control, Altaria and Golbat are really annoying. I actually, after I played Stonehenge, I actually added Cloister on my team just so I could have stab ice damage. Obviously I got rid of it because it sucked against everyone else, but Altaria is just really good. So, and then Golbat, yeah, almost impossible to kill. So very, very, very good team there. And then going up against the Driftlings, like, this is definitely a soft Trick Room team. This team does not need Trick Room. It's got Fletchender to set Tailwind. So I hate dual mode teams. I was so scared that freaking Ben would run Tailwind Mandibuzz, and all of my non-speed investment would be irrelevant for other reasons. Part of why I brought Double Electric was to maybe possibly deny the Mandibuzz Tailwind. Well, the Prankster Tailwind, or Tailwind's Tailwind, which is not going to be easy. Fletchender's so freaking good. And he's got nothing because, of course, this is Redeem the Trash. He doesn't have, like, Prankster Taunt or anything. So, yeah, if Eon wants to set up Tailwind, all the best he can do is use, like, Altaria to match that. Dubwool has a really defensive piece, but I'm not expecting it. I think Darumaka is it's sickeningly under-tiered. That should be a B tier. Like with Hustle, with EVLA, like it's just so freaking good, and you really need a specific strategy to beat it. And so it is faster than like Rune under Trick Room. It might even be slower than Rune under Tailwind. Not sure. I don't have a lot of support moves. Toxapec's very defensive, of course. Mr. Mime and Executor are really strong special attacking options, and the Champ obviously very strong physical attacker. So if I'm looking at this, I am probably giving the edge to the stack attackers because Magmortar can be such a strong offensive piece. Like for instance, a Magmortar Altaria lead, and Magmortar just goes ham into whatever try to set up. Like that does really well, except into like a Executor Alola Jigglypuff lead, which is just so passive. Like Jigglypuff to like, okay, well, what if it's actually he got what's he got against an Executor Jigglypuff lead where Jigglypuff threatens? See, the thing is that half the time he would win right away. Altaria can't use dragon moves into that because Ally Switch Jigglypuff absorbs them. That's actually a really good lead. And then Executor Alola the next turn can start Dynamaxing and Jigglypuff just dies or even launches a Perish Song. Like, what's he care? Yeah, that's not great. He doesn't have really any ice except Vanillite, which I mean, it doesn't. I don't even know what you would do with that. I'm not sure Altaria gets ice beam or not. That is a question. I'm gonna look that up on Cerebi. Search Cerebi. Oh, it's already in my favorites, Altaria, because who doesn't love it? No, just kidding, it's not. Actually, I'm just gonna search for Ice Beam. Ice Beam. Ice Beam, you Beam, we all Beam for Ice Beam. Okay. Ice Beam, we're gonna search for alt. No. And Altaria does get it. This generation. No, that's generation. Why am I looking at freaking? I want the Gen 8 Dex. There we go. Does it get? Altaria does get Ice Beam, so that's something. I know you guys were just riveted there while I was looking that up. Sorry. Trying to figure it out. Okay, so Altaria does get Ice Beam, so that's a huge thing. And but yeah, if he can get Trick Room up, he's gonna do very well. He's got Gothita, which is interesting piece. But I would think if I'm him, I'm running Fletch, Darumaka as my Tailwind option, even if it's just 8. And then I'm running probably Executor, Toxapex, Machamp, Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff is really good. Like, the stuff, like, I really seriously thought about drafting Jigglypuff. The stuff I needed a D tier for, I ended up, it ended up being more important to use my D tier picks for someone else, but Like, it's really good, a really good support piece. But yeah, Darren is so under tiered, and it was such a great pick by Detroit. I'm pretty much 100% going to get Darren next year or next league if I can. It's just so freaking strong. But Stonehead, Stack Attack, Prime's got the tools to deal with it, I think. Maybe. If I'm right, Altaria. Definitely with Tailwind, definitely with Ice Beam. Maybe Earthquake? No. I don't know. Something to. I'm probably running. That would be hilarious if he runs Cloud9. To stop, to like slow down to the sun thing. Because, I think, and I just don't know how good Shiftry is going to be in this matchup. So Shiftry is such an important piece of his team. I just don't know how good it's going to be. You look at this team like Grass Dark, like what is that? And he's got other coverage options, right? But like, Lunatone doesn't like that. But like, I wouldn't run Shiftry. I'd run probably. I would have the Meryl Rune thing, because if he doesn't take care of that, like if he leads Executor Jigglypuff, honestly, like you wouldn't even need to. If he leads Executor Jigglypuff, though, yeah, because Executor's, I'm sure he's going to run a grass type attack. If you don't run a grass type attack with Kingler and Rune on the other side, like, bruh. Yeah. So, but you can also switch out to Altaria, who double resists that and is able to do a lot of damage in return. So, I'm definitely running like Golbat for Tailwind. Golbat does get Tailwind, right? Or Altaria. No, I run Altaria for sure. I think Druddigon is going to be really, really, really helpful. If he sets up Trick Room, or if you were able to do that, Druddigon can handle Darumaka. Magmortar, I think is a really cool thing. He might, it might be fun. Is Max Magmortar, because nothing really scares it. Like, I guess Toxapex a little, but not if the sun's up. Yeah, like nothing really scares Magmortar here, so I would run Magmortar and expect to Dynamax it. Alongside Altaria, like, homeboy's in trouble, right? Kingler also is a really good option. Yeah, so my strategy with him would be basically just take a bunch of offense. Don't worry about speed so much, because you don't know if he's going to get Trick Room or not. And then, and I'd probably have, so these three for sure, plus Druddigon. And then in the back, I would have Rune Meryl, just in case he has something funky and you're able to take advantage of that. Like if you lead Rune Meryl into Fletchender Machamp, for instance, or, anything like that, you're able to do a lot of damage. Although, is Machamp really going to bring a dark type attack just for Rune? Maybe not. He probably is running Ice Punch, though. Google Altaria. So, interesting matchup. I definitely give the matchup edge to Neon, but I just think this is going to be fun. All right. Next up, 40 Grimers versus Suicunes. See, I'm doing all of this in one video so that I don't feel compelled to make it long. Also, I'm on spring break, so I don't care. Suicunes, Tauros. Oh dear, this is the Tauros Glalie team. So a lot of really cool pieces here, like Herdier, defensive. Galarian Rapidash can set up or deny Trick Room, can ally switch, but can also be very offensive with Psychic and Fairy attacks, especially when Dynamaxed. Magneton, also potential very defensive, powerful tool. Or it can just run like Specs or even Scarf. Flygon to me is extremely underwhelming, especially if your opponent has ice type attacks. But it does have a really wide move pool. Tentacruel, very good, great weakness policy mon, with like Bulldoze if you can set it up. Then of course Tauros could be Intimidate, could be Anger Point, could be Sheer Force. All of those are so good. It's like Tauros. The Sheer Force is just so good that we haven't seen that yet, and I think we're going to. I think we're fixing to see that at some point. But also like Glalie, Tauros, Anger Point, and Frost Breath is just such a devastating possibility. Playing, who's he playing? Jace, right? Yeah. Foil is playing Jace, and Jace has a really big gimmick of Dracloak, proccing Justified on Gallade and with beat up, or you got Rhydon, which could run Eviolite, but could also run Weakness Policy, and you can proc it with like a Delibird Ice Shard. Delibird's got Fake Out, Thievul, so freaking good. With that weakness policy, makes it unburdened. So, and just in case you're thinking he doesn't really have a great Trick Room mode, well, he has Spritzy, which can set it off, but also Gallade itself can set off Trick Room, which I may have found out and gotten wrecked by him in Game 2 of our match. That might have happened. Suicunes probably don't want to run under Trick Room, right? But I think you'd be a fool to not try and run it on Rapidash, just in case. Because Jace can run fast or slow. If I'm Jace, looking at this team, I'm thinking first I need to deny Trick Room. So not deny Trick Room, sorry, deny Anger Point, because Anger Point will just destroy him. So he has no redirection, right? So you can't fake out a obviously you can't fake out a whatchamacallit, a ghost. Thank you. Words are hard. So Skarmory I think is very, very good in this format. I think, but can Skarmory even take that? So what Skarmory can do, right, up against that is Skarmory doesn't care what Tauros is running, or if Tauros is Anger Point, right? There's no way, I'd have to calculate, but there's no way that Dynamax Skarmory feints to even Anger Point, like, what attack do we use? Max Rockfall? Max Lightning, definitely. Max Lightning, but now I gotta run that calc. So, calc, we're gonna go with Tauros, that's fine. Do not want Sheer Force, Shed Skin. But if we run +6 against Skarmory, thank you. Dynamax. Oh my gosh. So yeah, against bold, max HP, max defense, Skarmory, max strike from +6 life orb, Tauros does 38 to 45%. Oh my gosh. And then max Wormwind, max Airstream Dream from Skarmory, and then Skarmory and or its teammates now outspeed Tauros. So that could be really cool to see. And then, like, imagine with Skarmory alongside, like, Clawitzer. Yeah. Now, you can't rely on Sturdy for Skarmory because I'm sure Dracloak's gonna... No, sorry, not Dracloak. I'm sure Glalie gonna have Ice... No, Glalie can't. Glalie can't have Ice Shard because it needs Scarf to outspeed Tauros, unless he goes for, like, a low-speed Tauros and uses Max Strike for speed control. Possible. Alright, so yeah, I think Skarmory is a must-bring here, like, probably fully physically defensive Skarmory. But then, and then, like, you could even run it alongside Lightning Rod Rhydon, because the only thing that could scare Tauros away would be, or that could scare Skarmory from Tauros would be Wild Charge. So Lightning Rod Rhydon could be really cool there with Eviolite. One thing I think that's made Jace's team successful is you look at it, and there's not a lot of Eviolite competition because he's pretty much never bringing these. Or Drifloon, right? Like, he's got a lot of really good Pokemon that do not need Eviolite. Clawitzer, Thievul, Skarmory, Bolton, Gallade. Rhydon's the only, like, really good one that needs it. Dracloak probably wants Sash anyway because it just has no bulk regardless. And Delibird also doesn't need it, but it's trash. So it's absolute trash. And if Jace wants to lose, he should bring Delibird. So, if I'm foiled, though, then I'm thinking, like, stuff like Combuskin is actually really compelling because physically defensive Skarmory does not like special Combuskin. It's also really bad into everything else except for Delibird, which, I mean, I feel like Feebas has a good shot against Delibird. So I don't know, like, would you really run Combuskin just for one dude? So anyway, I'm running. If I'm him, I've got Skarmory, I got Rhydon. I think I want Dracloak Gallade with beat up justified shenanigans. I might run like a Scarf Clawitzer. I think that'll surprise him. And, you know, as my last one, maybe Impidimp and not even bring it, like, just for, like, screens or something. Thievul's such a cute option, it just doesn't do a ton of damage in here. Like, who's Thievul supposed to hit? He has no dark weaknesses on his entire team. I'm saying he, by the way. I don't even know if foiled the guy. I said he for a lot of people. Sorry. So I'm sorry if I'm calling anyone a guy and they are like, I am not a guy. I apologize. So if I'm foiled, I'm thinking, okay, I gotta think of ways to damage the other players, right? Tauros is really good. I'm probably not running Anger Point this matchup because Skarmory is such a good answer for it. And I'm probably running, and then, like, how embarrassing would it be if, like, you got foul play on Impidimp and freaking Impidimp one hit KOs your Dynamax Mon. Like, horrible. So if I'm foiled, I'm probably running Sheer Force, Life Orb, Undynamax Tauros. I think probably you want to run towards, like, probably your Dynamax Galarian Rapidash. But you're also going to want Magneton. Magneton in singles is a really good counter for Skarmory, right? But yeah, it would really, really, really mess up Skarmory. So yeah, so Skarm. Imagine Skarm. Imagine Skarm versus Magneton. Yeah, it's not going to end well for Skarmory. So, and yeah, Clawitzer, Scarf Clawitzer just looks so good in this matchup. Yeah, so Tentacruel, who'd proc it? Someone to proc it with Bulldoze. Magneton, Galarian Rapidash, Tauros, and I don't even know what Stunfisk would do for his team. Then probably Volibee, something bulky with Foul Play, just in case you get wrapped into justified shenanigans. You want something that can handle a hit from Gallade and kill it with Foul Play. That was my strategy. So that would be my team, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why do we say the 6th one? Herdier. Now, Squirrel's not bad per se because it's got fake out and stuff, but like, who are you really dying to fake out here? It would be hilarious though to see it run like Water Spout and alongside something like Tauros that's going to demand the offensive attention, and he runs like Water Spout or something to destroy Rhydon. That'd be hilarious. But not that hilarious, but it'd be a little hilarious. Okay. So that's that matchup. Yeah. Foiled is very, very good at this and able to bring cool stuff that nobody else sees coming. And I think that will be necessary for this matchup. I don't think it's a great matchup for Foiled, so we'll see. But Foiled is certainly capable of bringing some heat. So, last but not least, real quick look at Maribs versus Glenn. So Maribs have obviously a really good team with really powerful Rabombi, Aggron, and some Trick Room stuff like Vorgeist. They also have Daramuka Galar, which is just, again, sickeningly good. Rotom for Ally Switch, like Haunter has Ally Switch, Rabombi has Ally Switch. Like, I think it's a requirement to be on this team that you run Ally Switch. Or that you really appreciate being covered by Ally Switch. Super tough team to play against. I beat him on a damage roll from a Shadow Sneak that I think was like, I don't know, something like 50% to kill. And if I got that kill, which I did, then I would win, and ended up winning the league regular season because of that. Because I beat him by 2 games, but obviously he'd have made that up if he had beat me instead, and his differential would have been better. So, and he certainly would have killed with Earthquake. So Aggron's really, really good. And if you look at this team, I don't know how you beat Aggron. I think this is going to be a match where if you're Denver, you are living and dying by Flareon. I think actually special Flareon. Or mixed Flareon. No, mixed Flareon's so bad. But yeah, you need something to take out. You know, you can take out Crowgunk, you can take out Duramuka. You can one-shot Aggron. Yeah. I don't know. I think Fletchling and Flareon is really like your only lead that really has a chance. But then the thing is Aggron has Sturdy. So yeah, you Tailwind, you max Quake or whatever into Aggron. That's great. Aggron survives. Aggron Rock Slides. Fletchling is down. And Flareon takes an enormous amount of damage. So yeah, I think Wartortle, Flareon would be interesting as a lead because you can fake out almost anything except for the ghosts. But Flareon with fire attacks or Scorching Sands can handle the ghosts. You can run a Shadow Ball, actually, would do a lot of damage to Rotom and Haunter. So, yeah, special Flareon with Shadow Ball, fire attack of choice, and Scorching Sands, I think, would actually do really, 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 really well into this. I think Sigalith is not going to have a fun time here. Got all the ghosts, ice, electric. It's not going to have a fun time. Fletchling, I think, is just about necessary. Luxray is a really interesting piece here, but you want to use Luxray, I think, in this matchup very offensively, not like Baby Doll Eyes, because he's just going to be doing Apple's going to be doing too much damage if you're going to try and like Baby Doll Eyes it. Lanoon Galar is with Switcheroo. I think is actually a really, really good idea. Like and Flame Orb, sorry, because Lanoon doesn't mind getting Flame Orbed if it's running Facade and Quick Feet. And so, but Switcheroo I think would be very fun. No one enjoys getting burned except for Lanoon. So yeah, I think also, throwing some kind of offensive would be fun. One problem with Apple's team, right, is he has no fire resists at all. So like, yeah, just like blanket him with fire. Score Bunny could be important here. Luxray could be really important. Yeah, you just want to do something with fire. If I'm Denver, I am 100% bringing Flareon. I think Wartortle Fletchling is important. I think you could even try and do Policy Flareon with Wartortle Aqua Jet. Because you could have Aqua Jet that could either go into Aggron if you don't expect that. It's such a good, And then if he leads Rabombi Aggron, you're expecting speed swap. So you can actually use Wartortle, fake out the Rabombi, and then I just honestly Scorching Sands into Aggron rather than maxing, because he's going to survive it. It's going to do enough to bring him to Sturdy. He's going to survive it. He's going to kill you next turn anyway. I think Wartortle Flareon is just a really powerful lead against whatever Apple brings. And it's not he has no counterplay to it, but it's the only thing that gives Glenn, I think, significant counterplay. I just don't know what it is. Sigalith and Roserade are both so weak to the ice type attacks. I just don't know how he brings either of them. Which is bad, right? Those are your best Pokemon. You're counting on them. Which is why even Luxray's not great here. It's not bad. And so I think Luxray comes in. I think Nidorino, I'm not sure what it does, but I think you might need it to do some great things here. Life Orb would be maybe on Nidorino. I think it gets Sheer Force, right? And, Sludge Bomb, stuff or Sludge Wave, I guess. No, Sludge Bomb. Duh. It's not singles. Galarian, Lanoon, Fletchling, and so that's 6. And that's what I would bring. I would definitely leave Roserade. I don't think it accomplishes anything in this matchup. And I would definitely leave Sigalith. If I'm Apple, I'm bringing definitely Rabombi Aggron. And that's what you want. This is what I think of a good matchup. Like, obviously, Glenn can bring stuff that beats Apple. Obviously, Apple can bring stuff that beats Glenn. When I think of a good matchup, it's where your best ones to bring are your tier A's, and your opponent can't really bring their tier A's. Like if I'm looking at my team and I'm like, okay, I can bring Tangela, Aegis, like it is going to be a good match. If I'm like, I can't really bring Aegis, I'm going to have a bad day. I don't even bring Aegis Slash to every match, right, or to every battle. But if like I can't, I may be in trouble. So same thing here. I think Cragonal with Freeze Strike is going to be important because the rest of my Pokemon are kind of, or if I'm Maple, the rest of my Pokemon are kind of especially weak. So Cragonal could be really good. Got to bring something to deal with Flareon. So I am bringing Mudbray for sure. I have bring something to set up Trick Room. I don't think he'll really let me do that very easily, but I'm probably bringing more guys. And then if he brings the correct stuff, if Glenn brings the correct stuff, then Darumaka doesn't have a great matchup. If he doesn't bring the quote-unquote correct stuff, then like Darumaka is actually really good, and I think that's a really easy trap to get locked into, right? Is focusing on what your opponent should bring so much that you forget out their other options. So looking at Apple's team, I think Glenn should in no way bring Siglith and Roserade. But what if he does, and they're facing now like a team where the only real answer to Roserade is Cryogonal? And so as long as Cryogonal falls, like Roserade just dominates. That's not ideal. So yeah, I'm bringing probably Gourgeist to set Trick Room, and then it's so hard to leave Hitmonchan at home because it's so good, but it's not great into this. So yeah, you got to figure out how you're going to deal with Flareon. Are you just going to rely on Aggron? On the other hand, Aggron's moveset's going to be really easy, right? Because you're going to be able to have room for everything you need because you don't need a steal move. So I don't know. I give definitely the edge to Apple in this matchup, but Glenn definitely has tools. So all of these are going to be really close matches, and I am looking forward to seeing them play out for reals.